This is Chuck Colson. A proverbial Chinese curse goes like this: may you live in interesting times. Well, whether or not the Chinese actually said this past year has taught us why people would call that a curse. There was, of course, what was called the Great Recession. The global financial system nearly collapsed. And even though the worst has been averted, at least for now, tens of millions of people around the world lost their jobs. The full social and political fallout of this economic mess hasn't really been felt yet. One likely fallout will be the continued appeal of militant Islam. What the late historian Samuel Huntington called the clash of civilizations has moved from its traditional battlefields in Asia and Africa to the cities of Europe and even central Texas. Young men from Minnesota and Illinois have been discovered fighting alongside jihadists in Somalia and spying for the perpetrators of the Mumbai terrorist attack. While economic uncertainty and chaos are bad news for us, they're great news for those seeking to recruit and train young men for jihad. Interesting times? It's an understatement. As 2009 turns into 2010, we're waiting for the proverbial other shoe to drop. These are sobering thoughts, I realize, as we begin the new year. I don't know about you, but what they do for me is to drive me to my knees, because apart from God, we have very little hope as a civilization. But with God, all things are possible. Getting on our knees is the first step to doing everything within our power to really be the church, to help the poor, to reach out to people who are desperate in our society, to be a loving community that everybody wants to be part of, and to winsomely present Christian truth to the world. My New Year's resolution is to give every bit of energy and creativity and strength I have to build up the church, to encourage the people of God to be the people of God. Will you join me in that resolution? Will you get on your knees and thank God for sparing us, and then ask Him to give you the strength and endurance to get out of the pew and truly live out your faith and do what the gospel commands you to do? Will you also ask Him to give you the most grace to winsomely present the most wonderful message ever given to humanity, so that those around us will see that, yes, in 2010, there is hope. That hope is the gospel. If we do that, what may have been intended as a curse will become a blessing instead. That's this week's 2-Minute Warning. I'm Chuck Colson.